Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So these are my thoughts on yet another really high scoring game that involved some great finishes from us, a lot of great football and some just shocking bits of defending as well. It doesn't matter if it's our first team or if it's our second string team, as many people are calling it, even though these players are way too good to be called that. We still seem to really have a defensive fragility. So anyway, we'll start off with the lineup like we always do. We had Jorgensen in goal. We had Badiashile and Tosin as our centre backs, Vega as our left back, and Disasi, who's also captain today, as our right back. Our midfield was Casaday and Drewsbury Hall, and then we had Felix, Mudryk, Neto, and Nkunku up front. And I personally, I went into this match thinking, again, there's just nothing which there's just they should not be able to hurt us. This should be a straightforward win. I personally think that looking at our squad, there's there's not a single team in this competition because no one comes down from the Europa League anymore. There's not a single team in the Conference League who should be able to beat us. So I went into this game thinking again they can't, they just won't be able to handle this attack, and I was right. I mean, we dominated that first half. I think in the first half hour, the stat was like we had like 78% possession, which is ridiculous, and like probably 90 or so percent was in their half. We had loads of opportunities where we just kind of got in behind them, where there was a great through ball or ball over the top, or just maybe Felix or Neto just having a bit of quick feet and getting past them, and then consistently we were just making the wrong decision, or they were just putting up a last-ditch tackle right before we got the shot off. But anyway, for our goal in the first half, what a goal. I mean, it was a great through ball from Drewsbury Hall to Mudryk on the right-hand side, and then Mudryk, lovely little dink over the top of all their players. Vega then comes in, heads into the corner, brilliant goal, and it was a great feeling. I mean, when we scored that, I was completely convinced. I was there like, okay, let's see if we can get 3, 4, 5, and it really felt like we were going to. Because for the next, I think, 20 minutes after that goal, we just suffocated them. Every time they got the ball, they tried to clear it. We would then get the ball back, recycle it, and go on the attack again, and we would beat a player. Mudryk, perfect example of this one. He was brilliant tonight. He was really, really good. I loved his directness. And also, whenever it felt like one of the players, i.e. Vega, for instance, maybe hit the pass a bit too short or didn't quite get the pass perfect enough, Mudryk's speed meant that he got the ball before the Gent players, and it was great to see. Hopefully this gets them lots of confidence, and hopefully, I mean, despite this attack, obviously not playing in the Premier League, they're all playing really, really well still. And again, like I said, we just dominated for about half an hour, created loads of good openings, maybe not opportunities, but good openings where we kind of got into the final third, and then again, bad decision making, or it just was a great tackle by them. But then after the first half hour, we were still only 1-0 up, and you could just see Gent were beginning to play a few passes together. They were beginning to get confidence. They were beginning to create opportunities. They got a corner, and all of a sudden it was like, okay, Gent are beginning to sort of make a bit of noise here, especially with us only being 1-0 up. You could just see that they really were starting to believe. And I didn't realise this, but obviously Ida Gudjonsson's son, Andre Gudjonsson, obviously Ida Gudjonsson, an ex-Chelsea player, was really good back in the early 2000s. It was actually interesting seeing his son play against Chelsea. But anyway, for about, I'd say 6-7 minutes, between maybe 30 and 35 minutes, I'll say. So between the 30th and 35th, 36th minute, that's the sort of spell which they started to create more. And then they started to kind of grow in confidence. Eventually, Chelsea shut that down. But there were a few worrying signs, a few lapses in concentration with our defence, probably coming from the fact that we were so dominant that it felt a bit too easy. Because it really did feel around half an hour that we took our foot off the gas, and just kind of, in a way, even though we were 1-0 up, we sort of believed it was inevitable that we'd already won the match. Which obviously doesn't matter who you play, you can never do that because it invites the opposition on, and it gives them that confidence and belief. But anyway, my only kind of issue with the first half was that we were only 1-0 up. Very straightforward. We should have scored about 2 or 3 goals. We should have killed it off in the first half and had no pressure coming into the second half. But it is what it is. We were 1-0 up at half time, and it was still a good half to see. It was great that we were playing well. It was just frustrating that it was only 1-0. So we come out for the second half, and the interesting thing is, last season, I don't know what was said at half time, but it was consistent that would come out for the second half, and the players would be half asleep. They would be lethargic. They wouldn't really be focused. They'd be all over the shop. It's as if they just woke up from a nap. And there'd be a 15-minute window between minute 45 and around minute 60 where the opposition would get opportunities, would get big opportunities, either score, make Petrovic or Sanchez produce a wonderful save, or they'd miss such an easy opportunity. This season already, with Maresca in charge, it is so different. Like it is completely different. We now come out for the second half, and we just come out so strong. I mean, we've had it several times this season already where we scored straight into the second half. This time it was no different. I mean, within what, a minute? I think it was within a minute of the second half starting. I think Disasi gets the ball over the top. Wonderful control and absolutely incredible by Neto. Great controlled takedown, and what a goal! What a goal! I mean, he really deserved it because he'd been playing really well in the first half. Just didn't get that much service, but he was outstanding, and this was a thoroughly deserved goal. And it was great because we came out in the second half and we absolutely took over. And you just thought then, is that it? Have we now killed the game off? Have we now just ended Gent completely this early into the second half? If you thought that, you'd be completely wrong. Like this, when I talk about Chelsea, just not being great defensively, this next goal, actually, in fact, both goals we conceded against Gent are prime examples. Literally, but 2-3 minutes later, they have a corner, and it's not a great corner. It gets cleared, kind of cleared, but not really. And it then goes to I think it goes to Good Johnson, funny enough, who just floats the ball in, and I don't know, I can't remember which Gent player it was, but he was completely unmarked. Actually, there was like 3 or 4 Gent players. All of them were completely unmarked at the back. I don't know, I think it was Tosin who just had lost all of them, but at the same time, none of the players were marking them. And it was a great goal, but it was so poor. It was, I mean, there was a thought that it could be offside, but it clearly wasn't. And it was just completely a lack of concentration from the team, and it's infuriating. And yeah, all of a sudden there's 2-1, and you're thinking, okay, great, so they're back in the match then. So after they scored their goal to make it 2-1, I still really didn't feel nervous. I just looked at this team and thought, we were just finding a way to score more goals. Like there was never really a part of the game I was ever really nervous about actually not winning. And obviously then I think it was like maybe 12 minutes later we make it 3-1, and but in that period, that 12-minute period, we just dominated the ball. And again, we were just pushing them back. They never really had a say other than a couple of mistakes. So then with the third goal, I think it was João Felix who lofted the ball in the box. I think hit a couple of people in the head like Tosin. Bailey then gets it back, tries to have a shot, and then you had just seen Nkunku run on and just power the ball. Like it was a proper laces finish. It was really, it was a great goal to see. If you're the goalkeeper, you're probably slightly annoyed, just because clearly their goalkeeper who just anticipated that the ball was going to go, that Nkunku was going to shoot to his left, so he dived expecting it to go to his left, but Nkunku just shot the ball straight down the middle. I originally thought it must have taken a deflection off their goalkeeper, off their defender, but no, it was just a straight down the middle goal, and it was great to see. I mean, he scored quite a few goals recently for us, which is great to see. I mean, that's the thing. All these players who are playing tonight, they're all brilliant players, especially the attack. All these attacking players, the link up between all of them, like they're very good. They're top quality players. They could easily, all of them could easily be in the first team, and they're all making a real case to play in that first team. So that's why it's really lucky that we have this depth, especially in something like the Conference League. But anyway, so one thing I really loved is after each of our goal scorers scored, their confidence levels just went up even more. Like they were taking more players on, they were taking more risks. Neto and Nkuku would just be got. You could just see the smile and the relief after they scored, and they were happy to take even more players on. Our next goal scorer is someone who I'm very very happy that he scored. It was his first goal. It was Drewsbury Hall. You could just see how happy he was after he did it. I think it was another one where it was like a through ball from Felix, and then it was just blocked by their defender. I think it was like a slide tackle blocked by the defender, and it just landed perfectly for Drewsbury Hall. He just side foots it, and again, goalkeeper probably should be saving that if we're being completely honest. But who cares? Who cares? Like I'm very happy for Drewsbury Hall. He deserves a goal, and it's his first goal for the club, and it was a very straightforward goal for him to score. But he's another example of a player who gained a lot of confidence after he scored. There was another opportunity he had a few minutes later. There was another opportunity he had a few minutes later where he just missed it. But you could just see after he got that goal that he was more relaxed in his possession. And then yeah, we were 4-1 up, and you were like, okay, we've won this match then. And then we just make it. Yeah, we first the second goal. Luckily, it was right in the end of the match, but it was such a stupid goal to concede. Actually, before I talk about their second goal, there's one moment I just don't know how. I don't know how we didn't score. I don't know how we didn't go 5-1 up. I really don't know how. It was a short corner between like Felix and Neto. Neto then does an outstanding ball in. I mean, the ball, like if no one touched it, the ball probably misses the goal by maybe a couple inches. But it's a wonderful curling ball in. Any touch from either one of the Gent players or one of our players, and it's a goal, and it's 5-1. And I, I think Badiashile just missed it with his feet, but then Disassi, I don't know how he didn't score. He tries to chest it, and he just somehow gets it completely wrong that he ends up in the goal, but the ball somehow ends up around the post. I mean, I'm not sure how that happened. Like he just somehow chests it, but goes into the post himself. Sorry, goes into the goal himself, and the ball somehow goes around him. I don't know. It's just I'm not sure how. I'm really not sure how we didn't score. But yeah, anyway, for their for the second goal, it was just really poor. I think their player gets past Badiashile, plays it through his legs. They then lay it across to one of their players. We have like 2 or 3 players in the box, and they're all over the place. And then it's just a solid side foot finish in the end as well. Yeah, it was just poor. Both their goals were really, really poor to concede for us, which is nothing new really. A lot of the goals we concede are really, really just defensive mistakes. But anyway, the game ended 4-2, and I mean it's another high scoring game which we win. It's really turning into we're just going to score more goals than you type of football at the moment with Chelsea, which is not sustainable. But again, we just have that gooder attack that I just feel confident against most teams. So anyway, final thoughts. Another solid win, another really really good win. That's like 5 in a row now, which is amazing to think. I just looking at this squad, we have to win the Conference League. For me, there is not a single team, especially with the fact that no one from the Europa League comes down. There's not a single team in this Conference League who's even close to our level. I think Fiorentina are the closest one, but I just feel our attack is too good for every single one. We should be winning it. We should be winning it, and if we do, we will be the only team to have ever won every single European trophy, past or present, which it would be an incredible thing to say, and we'd be the only team in football to have completed every single to have won every single major trophy, past and present as well. So it would be amazing. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all on Sunday when we have hopefully gotten another win against Forest.